Shalom Aleichem from Temple Concord.
Assalamu alaikum.
I'm here today with my good friend Mohammed Khater. Mohammed is the president of the Islamic Society. And we've come together because the message of this week's Torah portion is one that has profound meaning for both of us as Jews and as Muslims, but also for our world in the times in which we live. So we have the story of Joseph. Joseph has gone down to Egypt, there's a famine, and his brothers come back. And Joseph can't take it anymore, and he finally blurts out, Ani Yosef Achicha, I am Joseph, your brother. Od Avichai, is our father still alive? And he's talking about Jacob. But in our world, I think we look around the world and say, what happened to Abraham, our father? Aren't we still cousins? How do we deal with this?
That's the question that we all struggling with at this point from various points of view. Joseph is as much as a Muslim figure as a biblical figure in the Quran. And the same story was mentioned in the Quran about Joseph when he came to Egypt and also reunited with his brothers and looking for his father. And at this time that we live in, we look for our father, we look for our commonality as Jews, Muslims, Christians, and as human beings. We have the same biblical figure, Abraham, and the Muslim figure, Abraham also. And we don't forget that we have the same father and mother, Adam and Eve. So in effect, we as Jews and Muslims, we're cousins, and we also are brothers and sisters in humanity. We never forget that.
Our world is crying out for us to recognize that we're cousins. Mohammed and I are lucky. We have a good relationship that's gone on for many years now. We work together. When there are difficulties, we pick up the phone and call each other and talk to each other. But we as a community need to do the same thing. We need as Jews to be able to look at Muhammad and his mosque and his community and say, we're brothers, we're cousins. And our father Abraham still lives. And Muhammad's community needs to do the same thing for us. And the truth is, we can each do it individually. There's no great secret to Muhammad's friendship with me or my friendship with him. The truth is, we happen to be two human beings who are willing to listen and talk. It's that simple. And over time, we've grown to develop friendship and trust and admiration and love for each other. And that's the answer to all the fear that's going on in the world. It's to look at someone else who might be different, who might have different views, and say, Ata achicha, you're my brother. Od avichai, is our father still alive? And so that becomes the challenge of how we live our lives. Our services this Friday night at the Temple will be at 6 o'clock. Pre-neg begins a little before that, 5:30. Saturday morning services at 11, preceded by Torah study at 10. We won't have tech study this week. Next week, the usual schedule. And at the mosque, services are Friday?
Yeah, normally Friday at 1 o'clock, our regular sermon starts at 1, and we welcome everyone to come to the Islamic Society at 1 o'clock and attend our services either at 1 o'clock or at any other time.
As do we here at the Temple. For now, I think we both wish you a Shabbat of looking at others, whether they look like you or not like you, whether they believe like you or not, and saying, we are brothers, we are cousins. Does our father yet live? Does our mother yet live? And how do we make that life come to be a reality for us today?
And I echo the same sentiment and the same words. We are all brothers and sisters in humanity, and we can get along. We need to understand one another, get to know one another at a level, not necessarily person to person, but understand where we all come from, and we'll find the commonalities are much more than what we think.
Shabbat Shalom for now. Look forward to seeing you at the Temple or at the mosque.
Or at the mosque.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, shalom alaikum.